I rewatched the Sopranos recently. Like I'd seen it before, but I rewatched it probably 15 years later.
Mhm.
And it was like watching it for the first time. I'd forgotten so much about it. It's such a great show.
It's actually one of the very few shows I've never seen.
Oh God,
Really
now I've got
good.
to get on it.
No, I know it's perpetually on my like, all right, I gotta watch this list, and then
Right.
something happens or I forget about it or another show comes out, whatever it may be.
You watched it, Dan. Did your wife like that one, or was it too
No, she watched it like before we were married, but I
Okay.
know she did like it. Like that's I think because there's like a heavy like storyline that was good.
Yeah, there's a lot of like psychology and stuff in it too,
Yeah.
right? Which is kind of, it's not just violence for the sake of violence. It's
Yeah.
like telling a story and stuff. Right.
I got invited to go to Lance Bass's house to play a fake Big Brother game, and when I was there, I actually met and me and my wife and became friends with Meadow, aka Jamie, and her husband. So like
No way.
yeah, so that was like probably one of like the coolest things I've been able to like do from Big Brother.
Yeah, right.
And they're
Holy
just like
crap.
super like nice people. And then like you know
So
like
not like Meadow in the show.
not
who
at
was-
all, not at all.
Oh,
But
that's pretty cool. That's a cool story.
yeah, I did like suppress like the fan, you know, because I was a really big fan of Sopranos. Like I watched it when it came out, but you kind of like
Yeah.
it'd be like, you know, when you meet me in person, you gotta like downplay how much you like Big Brother, you know, tips.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
yeah. I would as well. You know, I would you know, like it'd be like one of those it kind of like if you're watching anime, you'll understand this. On the outside I'd be
Seen
like,
two episodes.
hey, what's up? What's up, Dan? What's up? But inside, I'd be like, you know, with like tears forming in my eyes and stuff like that. It would be like that. Just like, I'm pretty sure most animes feature that situation.
For
so-
someone who's never watched anime, you certainly seem to know a lot about it. It's okay if you watch anime. You can watch
No,
whatever you want.
I really don't watch it though. This is the thing. Because like
That's true.
sometimes they'll do like, you know, they'll use like some emotes or something, and I won't understand what they're talking about or what they're trying to convey to me. And then usually I just chalk that down to anime, you know? Because
I think
I
they're-
don't understand anime either, so I figure that everything I don't understand in the world must stem from anime. You know what I mean?
But I
That's the only thing you don't know in this world.
Exactly. But I feel like if I watched some anime and knew a little bit about anime, I'd be able to relate with them a little bit better. You know what I mean?
But I think they're triggered because you watch anime and don't admit it. I think that's the
No,
the
well,
triggering part.
okay. Maybe that's the case as well. So over all these years, I've developed an elaborate network of lies around anime to save my street cred, I guess, or something. I mean, it's a lot of effort when I could just say, yeah, I watch anime.
You could, but you also don't you like triggering your chat? I thought that's one of your sipsisms.
It's unintentional most of the time.
If the
I'd say.
glove fits, I'm just saying.
I'm Canadian, I have no street cred. How does that make you feel, Mel?
We got street credit, right?
I would like to think so, yeah.
You know, per capita, great amount of like musicians and bands, comedians. We got
Jim
a lot
Carrey.
of funny people.
Sharon Lois and Brand. Also, Mike Myers, Canadian.
Yep.
My-
Chandler
Seth
from
Rogen,
Friends. Seth
John
Rogen.
Candy, rest
John
in peace.
Can, yeah. Dan Aykroyd
Martin
as well.
Short.
Wait, was Dan Aykroyd Canadian? I don't know. if
Yeah,
was
he
actually.
lived. He lives like, or at least lived right outside of Kingston. Yeah.
Speaking of Mike Myers, I think he's vastly overrated.
Me too. I don't think he's actually. I think. I want to say that the best thing he ever did is probably Austin Powers, and I don't even think that really holds
up,
up
Brian?
anymore.
Do
Like,
you
it's-
not like
Thank
Wayne's
you.
World?
I liked Wayne's World like when I was 10,
And you should still like it then. It holds up.
I don't know if it does though.
It does though.
Really? And her name was Cassandra.
She will be mine.
Was that the
Oh,
first one?
yes.
Foxy Lady and all that?
Yeah. And yeah, Garth, they're in the diner, and then he's
Yeah.
doing like the stare down with the one lady, and then like he stares so hard that he gets knocked off his seat.
That's right, yeah. The Dreamweaver song always played as well, right?
Yeah. It had Al Bundy in it as well. He runs the diner.
Okay. Married with Children? Yes or
Yeah.
no?
I wasn't allowed to watch that as a kid. I never
Really?
yeah.
That wasn't super uncommon, Dan. I knew a lot of people who weren't allowed to watch it as well. It was
Because they
kind of
knew
show.
how Dan felt about Christina Applegate.
Christina, yeah.
What were
Christina
what were
Applegate.
the themes of it? Because I've never really looked into it. But
Just misogyny, basically.
Yeah.
Like, just nonstop, in your face, woman hating.
Oh.
I feel like.
I can maybe understand why my parents didn't want me to watch.
Yeah, it was considered kind of crass, right? I think at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically, his
basically-
wife is constantly throwing herself at him, and he's like, "Oh, Piggy."
Yeah, it's shoe salesman who gets home from work and just like sits on the couch with a beer with his hands down his pants.
That the
was the whole
iconic
joke.
hand down the pants cider.
Yeah,
Like
he did it so well too.
Oh,
like,
they
it was-
actually did it on the show?
Yeah.
like just in the belt buckle, like kind of
Yeah, yeah.
resting in there, not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all the way down.
No, he wasn't
but
like fondling himself or anything. Like,
No.
yeah, that was mostly the joke.
love and marriage, love and marriage
Yeah.
go
That's the one.
together like a horse and carriage. This I tell you, brother, that you can't have one without the other. It's something like that, right?
It's perfect. Yeah, you nailed it.
Thank you.
Love that. Yeah, Dan, you don't even need to watch the show now. I remember my grandma. I went to my grandma's house one time. Like, we all went as a family, like, to her house for dinner. And it was on, and she was like, "Oh, please turn this off." Like, she could, like, you know, like an older generation, she just thought it was just like, no way. Like, she's not having that on in her house, sort of thing. And she wasn't even like, I wouldn't say like a prude or anything like that. She just did not have time for the show at all.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different context of that word. But how do you
What?
know about the affairs of your grandmother?
Prudish.
Doesn't that have to do with like reproduction?
Prudish.
Yeah.
I'd say quite the opposite, in fact. As far as my definition of it,
What's your definition?
it's like somebody who like would not even consider showing like their ankles, like a church lady
Yeah.
is prudish. Right?
Okay, I got it.
Massive prude. Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard anybody refer to prudish as in the context of reproduction. Like,
Well,
I gotta be honest.
Isn't it someone who is doesn't partake in those sort of activities?
Yeah, I would say it's somebody who's like very sort of like shy and non-adventurous towards sexual activities.
Yeah. So how
Or,
are you
like,
commenting
to the
on
point
your
where they
grandma's?
wouldn't even talk about it, sort of thing? But it's like, but there's more to it than just that, though.
Oh,
right?
okay. It's like
you know, like kind of like you'd say that somebody who's like very prim and proper would be like prudish as well. Right?
okay,
You know, like
you.
like yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah.
Dude, that's if I ever need a good laugh, I pull up that
That's
clip.
What about that one I linked you yesterday?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Kid plays a prank on his dad.
I'm gonna prank my dad.
I give
That's
that.
my go-to.
That's
That
an-
one gets me every time.
You don't watch yourself doing Shaggy?
You know she's a go bring a whole heap of things from the past. And then all the better is to know a low-fi math. Quick fun goes to know how to talk. But if you ask a gun, you know you better run fast.
No. I'm no, I don't really watch myself that much. Like sometimes like if something's linked somewhere, like you know, like on Reddit or something like that, I might just check it out to like remind myself like what it was or something, but like no, I wouldn't watch my own stuff.
You don't go
like,
back and watch your VODs with like a
to
cup
cure
of
the
Joe?
blues or anything like that. No. I'd watch like something else.
Want to catch up on the Dan Gheesling Show because you can't catch it live on Twitch? Then go to youtube.com/Dan Gheesling Plays. There you'll find every single one of our live shows cut up in an easily digestible episode for your viewing pleasure. Episodes are up within a couple days of the show, so you're never too far behind if you want to catch up and watch live. That's youtube.com/Dan Gheesling Plays to watch anything you might have missed on Twitch.
Give me a one, let you be like,